Welcome to Thoughtful Thursday, brought to you by General Practice Solutions, a space to pause, reflect, and reconnect with what truly matters in primary care. Today, we share a story that reminds us why compassion, reflection, and learning sit at the very heart of what we do. It is the story of Jessica Brady, whose legacy now shapes how GPs across England approach patient safety and continuity of care. Jessica was 27 years old when she passed away in 2020 from a late-diagnosed cancer. In the 5 months before her death, she reached out for help again and again, more than 20 times, reporting symptoms that grew steadily worse. Each time, her concerns were heard, but the full picture was not yet seen. When she was finally diagnosed with stage 4 adenocarcinoma, it was too late for treatment to save her life. Her parents, Andrea and Simon, faced unimaginable loss, yet chose to turn their pain into purpose. They began to campaign for change, not with anger, but with determination that Jessica's experience would lead to something meaningful. Their efforts have inspired a new national patient safety rule for general practice known as Jessie's Rule. Jessie's Rule is a simple, but profound safeguard now embedded within NHS England guidance. It states that if a patient contacts a GP practice 3 times with the same or worsening symptoms and no diagnosis, the clinical team must stop, review, and reflect. They must ask the question that can make all the difference: what might we be missing? In a busy primary care setting, where appointments are short and demand is constant, this rule serves as a vital pause button. It reminds clinicians to look at the bigger picture, to revisit what has already been discussed, and to consider what new information might change the outcome. It moves the focus away from treating each appointment as an isolated event and back towards seeing the patient's journey as a whole story. Jessie's Rule is not about blame or criticism. It is about collective reflection, a structured opportunity for GPS and their teams to review, discuss, and learn together. It ensures that persistent or unclear symptoms are not overlooked, and that clinical curiosity is protected even in the busiest environments. It also speaks to a wider truth in healthcare, that safety is not only built on systems, but on human connection. Patients come back because they trust us. They come back because something still feels wrong. Each repeat attendance is not a failure of the previous appointment, but a signal to look again. For many younger patients, like Jessica, symptoms may not match the patterns clinicians are used to seeing. Research has shown that younger people are more likely to experience diagnostic delay because serious illness is statistically less common in their age group. Jessie's Rule ensures that these patients are not dismissed or deprioritized simply because their age does not fit expectations. It ensures that their persistence is met with equal persistence from those caring for them. The introduction of Jessie's Rule has already prompted practices across the country to review how they track and flag repeat attendances. Many have implemented internal safety nets, for example, coding repeat presentations, creating alerts for unresolved issues, or scheduling dedicated review discussions in clinical meetings. These small changes, inspired by Jessica's story, have the power to transform outcomes. But the legacy goes deeper than systems. It is a reminder that empathy and curiosity are clinical skills in themselves. Reflection is not an administrative task. It is a vital part of safe, compassionate care. Jessie's Rule reinforces the idea that thinking again, even briefly, can be the moment that changes everything. Jessica's parents have often said that they do not want her story to be one of blame, but one of learning. And that is exactly what this rule achieves. It takes one family's unimaginable loss and turns it into a national commitment to do better, to listen more deeply, to reflect more often, and to act more quickly when something doesn't feel right. For everyone working in general practice, Jessie's Rule is an opportunity to strengthen our collective approach to safety. It encourages collaboration within teams, better communication between clinicians, and a renewed focus on continuity of care. Most importantly, it ensures that the patient's voice remains central to the process. As we reflect today, let's carry with us Jessica's legacy, not as a rule on paper, but as a mindset for care. Let's make time to pause, to listen, and to review. Let's make sure that every patient who returns with concern is met with fresh attention and renewed commitment. Jessica Brady's story reminds us that learning and compassion are inseparable. It reminds us that the smallest act of reflection can have the greatest impact. And it reminds us that behind every policy, every rule, and every system, there are people, patients, families, clinicians, all trying to do their best for one another. Thank you for joining us on this thoughtful Thursday from General Practice Solutions. Let's continue to honor Jessica's legacy by practicing reflection with purpose, compassion with consistency, and care with curiosity. Because in the end, thoughtful care saves lives.